Welcome back to a crystal clear mind. Hello my beauties, welcome back to the second episode about chakras. Wherever you are in the world, I'm really thankful for you being here with me today to tune in and listen to this episode. So we spoke about chakras on the last episode and had the rundown of what they look like when they're in balance, when they're blocked, when they're overactive. And we've kind of gone over how important it is to keep them balanced so that we are in complete harmony and alignment in our mind, body and spirit. Now, chakra balancing is the process of restoring a harmonious flow of energy across our chakra system. And this translates into a feeling of well-being and being centered and increased vitality. Now, it's important to remember that although you may feel one particular area, one particular chakra needs working on, each chakra is part of a system that functions as a whole. Now, they're all connected and they interact energetically speaking. So it's important to consider the neighbouring centres and the energy of the whole system as you do this. So we sort of touched upon this in the last episode, and now I'm going to break down the ways in which we can keep them balanced and keep them aligned and open as we need them to be. So you can balance the chakras through physical activity, or a physical process like yoga or reading or learning. You can do it through a meditative or introspective practice such as like meditation and visualization. Or you can also do it through the transmission of energy from another person or from yourself, i.e. hands-on healing, Reiki, chakra healing and so on. Now, before we go into each individual chakra and sort of what corresponds to helping to keep that balanced, generally these things work for all the chakras all the time. So spend as much time as you can outside. It depends on which country you live in, where you're listening from. I know from being in the UK it's not always that easy to be outside all the time, but be out as much as you can. Connect with nature, whether that's just being in your own garden, whether that's hugging a tree, barefoot grounding on grass or sand, being near the ebb and flow of the sea, or simply just standing in the elements of nature. So even if you just take yourself outside into your back garden and just stand in the wind, or even stand in the rain, just connecting with that element of nature is enough. And then we have things like meditations. Now, across the board, meditation connects with all of our chakras, with our prana, our life force, and with ourselves as well, and our deeper thinking and our inner thoughts. So if you want to delve deeper into a meditation focused on balancing the chakras, use visualization, as mentioned in my last podcast, working from that root chakra upwards. And you can place a hand on the chakra center and you visualize the color of the chakra flowing freely, spinning freely, resonating that color from within you out into the world. And then we have yoga. Yoga moves the bodies in ways that bring about physical wellness and impact the mental and the spiritual also. As with meditation, regular yoga will improve overall alignment. As I work through the chakras individually in a moment, I've mentioned some very specific yoga poses that can help each individual center. And then, of course, working with professionals that can help you. There are healers and light workers that are available to you to assist in this area specifically. You can turn to things like Reiki and sound baths, massage, people that use tuning forks, meditation classes and yoga classes, chakra healing, sound healers in general, acupuncture and aromatherapists. But you can also practice these things at home yourself. You can learn how to blend aromas for specific purposes. You could purchase a Tibetan singing bowl and learn how to use it to create your own sound bath. So if you aren't able or not in a position to go out and pay for a professional to help you and guide you, you can start to invest slightly in these things, doing it yourself at home and learning a new skill whilst you're at it. Chanting is another way, a really excellent way to reinvigorate the energy flow in your body. Chanting is like sound healing, but from the inside. And the vibrations of your voice work to clear blockages throughout your energy centers. And if you're new to chanting, sometimes it's helpful to find a yoga class that incorporates chanting in their sessions to get you started. Or of course, use Old Faithful and go on YouTube to search into it a little bit further. So you've kind of got that guide with you, telling you how to do it, what sound you need to make and so on. You can also adopt one of the daily one-syllable chakra mantras, such as, for the root, it's the word Lam, which is I am, strong, stable, at peace. For the sacral chakra, it's Vam, I feel, creativity is flowing through me. For the solar plexus, it's Ram, which is I do, but sometimes letting go is also the most empowering choice. Then you've got for the heart is Yan, I love. Giving equals receiving. Then for the throat is Ham, I speak. My words are like seeds. For the third eye is one that we all know is Om, I see. I'm open to new ideas. And for the crown, it's the silent Om, I understand and I surrender to the highest. And these are best found in videos where people can display the way each sound, each chant needs to be used so that you can learn it and then copy it in return. And once you've done it a few times, it'll become like second nature, and then you can just do it at your own will whenever you're ready. And the vibrations are so strong as they resonate from you that you end up walking away feeling almost renewed from it. And another one that touches on the sort of the general keeping the chakras aligned is breath work. And breath work is essential for so many reasons. We talk about it for meditation, for stress relief, for pain management, for mindfulness, to reduce our tempers and toxic situations. And it's no different here. Breathwork can cleanse and balance your chakras. I mentioned in the last episode that alternative nostril breathing would be good to use here. I also mentioned box breathing. So for those that haven't used alternative nostril breathing before, what you do is you close one nostril with your thumb and you breathe in through your open nostril, nice deep breath in through that open nostril. And then you switch over, close the nostril you just breathed in through and breathe out through your open nostril. And you continue to do so for as long as you see fit. Then we've got box breathing, which if you've never used it, you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and then hold for 4, and repeat again. Or you can give 4-7-8 breathing a go, which is similar to box breathing, and you just breathe in through the nose for 4, but you hold it for 7, and you exhale for 8. So the aim you're looking for is to support a balanced flow to sustain your overall level of energy. Our lives bring us multiple sources of stress, and these can result in fluctuations in our energy level. And then to add to that, past events that have happened to us, past experiences that have occurred, past trauma even. And then these all leave this long-lasting influence on how we act and how we feel, which then in turn influences how we manage our energy on a day-to-day basis. So with all of that in mind, our aim is just to cleanse, clear, open, align and balance out our energy centres. And it's important to note here before we get into the individual centres that the best place to begin when you are doing a chakra healing on yourself is in the root chakra. because this is where we draw our life force energy from. This is where we are secure, where we find our grounding and our balance. And if you're not balanced here and you're not feeling grounded and connected here, then you'll find it very difficult to balance out the rest. So start at the bottom and work your way through all of them for the best effect. So now I'm going to go through the ways that we can keep them all in balance individually. And of course, we're going to start, as we said, with the root. That beautiful red colour within the root chakra. Now, because this is our security and our grounding chakra, basic needs such as physical exercise and restful sleep can stimulate and open that root chakra. Listening to stimulating music with deep beats such as drums in it are really good to open up that. And especially if you incorporate body movement and dance, and it doesn't matter if you can dance and if you've got rhythm, don't worry about it. Moving your body to that movement, to that music, is incredibly beneficial. Anything soulful would actually really benefit you in this kind of sound. Some songs I kind of came across as potential suggestions was Roots by Imagine Dragons and Stand By Me by Otis Redding. And then the solfeggio frequency for the root chakra is 396 Hertz. You can also connect to that root chakra by being creative in a very earthy sense, so that it grounds us. So tending to your garden, creating something in your garden, making pottery or using clay. These are all really good ways to get that energy to stay open and balanced. Barefoot grounding is another one. This is quite simply in its rawest format. For the root chakra, we want to be grounded. So barefoot grounding is simply when you go outside, find grass, earth, mud, sand, it doesn't matter what, and put your bare feet onto the ground, creating a strong bond and connection between yourself and the earth. And if we go back to what I talked about in the last episode about colour therapy, for the root chakra, you would eat red foods, drink red drinks, and wear the colour red, light a red candle and surround yourself with that colour, and use red crystals. And then yoga poses, as I said, I would give you some specifics. Yoga poses like mountain or warrior are really great for establishing a stronger relationship with your body's foundation. So to connect and keep your root chakra balanced, sort of like in a daily practice, you have yoga poses that you can do, being creative, literally grounding yourself with barefoot grounding, spending time in nature and certain music, definitely dance, and then creating this basic needs being covered by making sure that you are moving your body, you are exercising in some sense, even if it is just a walk, and getting lots of sleep. All of this will help to maintain that balance within your root. And if we move up to the sacral chakra, beautiful orange colour. All creative efforts are related to this chakra. So open this chakra with creative expression and by honouring your body. We've talked about this before in the previous episode and actually previous episodes. Creativity lies within all of us. It's our job to then tap into our creative zone and work out where our creativity lies. And it can be as obvious as singing and dancing and painting and drawing. But that's not where the list ends. We all create something. So you've got to tap into your creative zone, and it could be in the garden. You could be great at creating things on a computer, creating beautiful food. You might be really good at organising things, cultivating a herb garden, maybe even photography, even if it's just on your phone and you don't have amazing fancy equipment. Maybe you're really good at creating handmade gifts for people with love. We all know and can feel when we've tapped into our creativity. as we feel really good and proud of what we have created. I feel really good and proud right now as I've used my creativity today to create this episode. But it doesn't have to be complicated or costly to bring out your creative side. But if you tap into what it is that you are able to create, and give lots of things a go, because we're not black and white as human beings. So we might tap into multiple facets of creativity. And this really connects you to your sacral chakra, and it keeps it balanced and aligned. Again, back to colour therapy, you can connect with the colour orange through your clothing, your food, your drinks, candles, crystals, and what's around you. For the sacral chakra, drink beverages that are at room temperature or slightly warmed. Avoid things like ice and heavily spiced foods and overeating if you feel that your sacral chakra is a bit out of whack. Spend time outside or around a body of water also. So get yourself near the sea if you can, or take a hot aromatic bath. Connecting further with water, you could go swimming or do water aerobics. And then for the sensuality side of the sacral chakra, you can connect through massage. You can have that from your partner, or you can go and have it professionally done for you. For music, listen to music that's got a bounce or a flow to it. So a few suggestions that I came across were songs like Hips Don't Lie by Shakira and I Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake. And the solfeggio frequency for the sacral chakra is 417 hertz. For yoga poses that strengthen your pelvic floor, because that's obviously where your sacral chakra is connected to, do poses such as bridge pose or really deep hip openers like pigeon pose or lizard pose or crescent pose. They're great for strengthening the sacral chakra. And because the sacral chakra is also associated with our emotions, try a mindfulness meditation. I recently found a mindfulness walking meditation. So I got myself outside for some exercise, some air, blew the cobwebs out, took some time to myself, connected to nature at the same time, got my steps in, and I listened to this lovely mindfulness walking meditation. I was back and done within 40 minutes and felt absolutely fabulous afterwards. So on a daily, trying to keep your sacral chakra aligned, balanced, open, flowing beautifully. Tap into that creative side of you. Tap into whatever it is that gives you that creativity flow. Try all sorts of different things and see if that works for you. You might find that you are actually better at something than you ever realized. Connect with the color, connect with your sensuality through massage, and connect to the water element. And then you've got your yoga poses and you've got your music as well. As always, with the music, move those hips, get that hip moving, that lovely lower belly hip area moving. And if we move up to the solar plexus, shining a beautiful bright yellow color, our life force energy center. The solar plexus loves for you to feed your mind. So it likes when you learn new things. It likes you to take a class in something, take a course. Read as much as you can. Read informative, inspirational books. And do things like mind puzzles to keep that brain sharp. Because it's connected to the sun, it wants us to spend as much time as possible in the sun. Again, depending on where you are listening from at the moment, I know in the UK I'm currently looking at grey clouds and rain. But whenever that sunshine is out, wherever you are, get yourself out of it. It will make your solar plexus very happy and very aligned. It also likes for music to be mentally stimulating, such as something that contains things like chimes in it. So songs for the solar plexus that I came across was On Top of the World by Imagine Dragons and something called The Distance by Cake. And the solfeggio frequency for the solar plexus is 528 hertz. This frequency heals our DNA. So just type it in, put it into whatever you listen music through, and it will come up. For a visualization meditation for the solar plexus, visualize a fire in your belly that feeds self-confidence and action. And throw all of your negative emotions and your self-doubt into that fire that you have created. Keep yourself in that meditation, feeding off of that self-confidence, feeding off of that action, and also feeding off of the fact that you are letting go and chucking away and burning up anything negative, anything that stops you from being you. For yoga, for the solar plexus, you want to use poses that strengthen the core, such as boat pose, triangle. These are really great for firing up your abs and creating much more balance within that chakra. And if we move up to the heart, which is that beautiful earthy green colour, our centre for all things love. And as I noted on the previous episode, the colour of the heart chakra is green, and it's not what we're used to seeing, but because it is connected, because we are connected as a whole to earth and to nature. So of course, the heart chakra wants you to connect with nature. It wants you to spend time outside, spending time with family or friends, people that you love, that make your heart sing. This can have an incredibly balancing effect on your heart chakra. In fact, sometimes when you are around the right people and you feel great about it, you can actually feel your heart humming. Surround yourself with plants. Spend time in your garden. Again, a simple effort, but connects you immediately to nature. And it wouldn't be a heart if it didn't want to read romantic novels or watch romantic comedy films. We all know how much a good cry or an uplifting end at a movie can have such a cathartic reaction and a knock-on effect for us. The heart chakra is associated with the element of air, so deep breathing exercises like I was talking about earlier are a real must for this one. And then you've got music for the heart. Songs that have come up for this are things like Could You Be Loved by Bob Marley and Look for the Good by Jason Mraz. And the solfeggio frequency is 639 Hertz. But this one has an alternative. You can also find 528 Hertz, also effective because it's the frequency of love. Back to colour therapy, connect with that colour green. Again, your clothing, your food, your drinks, surrounding yourself with it. Lighting a green candle, surrounding yourself with plants can really align the chakra. And in yoga, you're looking for heart openers, such as camel pose or wheel, cow face pose and humble warrior. Well, these will open up your chest and your shoulders and your arms so that you can allow much more into your heart chakra. So for the heart, we are looking for things that make us feel warm and gooey inside. We are looking for music that makes us sway. We are looking for spending time with people that make our hearts sing, connecting with the colours, using heart openers in yoga. And most of all, spending time connecting and being surrounded by nature. And then if we move up to the throat, radiating a beautiful blue, as you would imagine with the centre that is our expression, you can sing, and you can sing anything. Sing along with the radio, sing like no one is watching or can hear you. It doesn't matter if you have an amazing voice or not. It is connecting to ourselves and our expression either way. Express yourself through writing poetry. You can read stories out loud to yourself, to your partner, to your children to open up and balance this chakra. Viewing art is also another way to connect and balance the expression center. Also work on your spiritual and your personal growth. Learning something new in this area that helps you and allows you to express yourself more clearly will light up this area. And again, an alternative way of expressing yourself, keep your journal. Write those feelings out, write those thoughts out, write out those opinions, and write out all those negative thoughts that you are hanging on to. Try and find ways with this also to express yourself that goes beyond using your literal voice. Music, it's kind of got a flow to it. So the suggestions I found was My Life by Billy Joel, and If You Want to Sing Out by Cat Stevens. And the solfeggio frequency for the throat chakra is 741 hertz, which is the expression frequency. And in yoga, plow or fish are really great poses to open up your throat chakra. Both really help to open up the back and the front sides of your neck. So we've just got pure connection to our expression and our self-expression through physical vocal expression of singing and reading aloud, down to writing and letting it flow out of you through to a pen. Writing in your journal, writing poetry, writing letters even, and viewing art so that you can have your expression there as well. Connect to music, move that neck of yours, move that head, move those shoulders, and then connect through yoga poses too. And then we move on to the third eye chakra, that beautiful radiant indigo colour. Now by the time we've reached the third eye, the energy centres have become more spiritual instead of physical. So our intuition and our vision centre finds that simple actions such as stargazing is a really wonderful way to balance it out. Meditation, of course, is also helpful here. It brings you into connection with yourself. It brings you into connection with your inner thoughts and with your intuition too. Try to use your imagination within your visualizations, such as manifesting what you want for the future. Specifically working on honing your intuitive and psychic abilities keeps this center very happy too. And music such as Mozart or Bach is soothing and balancing for this chakra. Some other songs that I found in the music genre was I Have a Dream by Amanda Seyfried and Overthinker by Enzo. And the frequency for this is 852 hertz, the frequency of awakening intuition and returning us to spiritual order. And for yoga, you're looking for forward fold or folded eagle. In these poses, our higher self, represented by our upper bodies, establishes a connection with our more rooted part of our bodies, like our legs, so that we can manifest a dream into our physical reality. And you can also try Yoga Nidra, also known as yogic sleep or effortless meditation, and that's for relaxing the mind. And last but never least, we come up to the crown, glowing beautiful violet or white. To keep the crown balanced and aligned, keep a dream diary. Note the things you dream about and what goes on when you're asleep. It asks for you to spend time in quiet contemplation, quiet meditation, and quiet yoga. Listening to guided meditations here is really good as well. Or try to visualize whilst meditating a white light coming from the universe and entering the top of your head. Also try meditating on the feeling of being small, a small part of a bigger whole. A practical way that you can connect with the crown chakra is by being of service. So whether that's to your community through volunteering, to your family by tending their needs, or by giving something back to the world, the crown resonates with this and it loves this. Being of service makes it feel good and open. taking spiritual courses or learning more in an area of your faith and your beliefs, whatever they may be, that as long as it pleases and excites and keeps you happy. But most of all, the crown loves to have you spend time in silence. And if we go back to the chants, the daily one-syllable chants that I mentioned, the crown's chant is actually silent. It was a silent Om. So the crown really resonates and feels balanced when you are able to spend time in silence. In yoga, you're looking for things like corpse pose, and this will help to strengthen your crown chakra by connecting you with your eternal self and reminding you where you came from and where you will go. And in music, there was a few suggestions. We're looking for very melodic sounds. So things like Somewhere Over the Rainbow and Peace by Cat Stevens. And the frequency that you'd be looking for is 963 Hertz. This is a frequency to trigger the highest plane of consciousness and connect us to the perfection of the universe. And what you should start to notice with all of these efforts is that you'll start to sleep better. Your stress will reduce. Your relationship with yourself and with others will benefit. And your spiritual and personal growth will move in leaps and bounds with power and strength behind it. So I really hope that what I have done here is given you all a great place to get started or to get going with, or perhaps to move forward with, and that you will find what feels good and what works for you. And if you're able to, head over to the Facebook page or leave a comment on the Spotify episode. Let me know what you think of this episode. Let me know how you get on. Let me know if something really resonated with you and really spoke to you, because I would love to know. And I really, really hope that this spoke to you on all levels and that you get some use out of it. Until next time, guys, take care.